Here's a thread from Rexurrection, at Rexurrection on Twitter, Rexxurection. A hell of a guy to follow on Twitter. Let's get started. They broke up this thread. I'm gonna piece it back together for everybody. A question: is Attorney General Barr preparing the ground for charges of treason, in addition to the many other charges that are about to rain down on Obama, Clinton, and their goons and thugs? Hear me out. I believe that's exactly what's happening. As a criminal offense, treason is in a category of its own. It stands above what we call seditious conspiracy. As Chief Justice Marshall said in the Holman case, crimes so atrocious as those which have for their object the subversion by violence of those laws and those institutions which have been ordained in order to secure the peace and happiness of society are not to escape punishment because they have not ripened into treason. Treason is a direct attack on the United States itself. Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution. Whoever, owing allegiance to the United States, levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000, and shall be incapable of holding any office under the United States. 18 U.S. Code, Section 2381. So, just what is the United States? We know that government officials take this vow or similar: solemnly, freely, and without mental reservation, I hereby renounce under oath all allegiance to any foreign state. My fidelity and allegiance from this day forward is to the United States of America. I pledge to support, honor, and be loyal to the United States, its Constitution, and its laws. Key words: the United States, its Constitution, and its laws. What is it that, then, is unique about a treasonous action, as opposed to a treasonous intention? To me, it's an attack on the Constitution itself, the beating heart of the American Republic, on the separation of powers that makes the U.S. exist as a republic, and something else. It's an attack on the American people. What does the preamble begin with? We the people. My point was that a treasonous action has to be a direct attack on the Republic's beating heart. It's so serious a crime that specific elements need to be proved before guilt can be found. Contrary to popular opinion, levying war against them does not require a declaration of war or soldiers and guns. You need an assemblage of men for the purpose of executing a treasonable design and an overt act, a purposeful action beyond mere planning or discussion. The assemblage needs to be witness. The witnesses do not need to be aware of the intention or aim of the group. Also, unlike impeachment requiring a 2/3 majority in the Senate, there only needs to be 2 witnesses who saw it taking place. So, if there are 2 witnesses to an assemblage of people who have allegiance to the U.S., and if the assemblage then carry out a direct and overt attack on the beating heart of the American Republic as created in the Constitution, you have treason. Those involved become enemies of the United States. Once that line is crossed from sedition to treason, the leading cases make it clear that anyone providing aid and comfort to the enemies are also guilty of treason. Let me ask you a question. Does an attempt by a group of government officials to rig an election with illegal spying, Russian disinformation, fraudulent use of the Congress, State Department, FBI, DOJ, CIA, FISA Court, White House, and the intelligence community agencies constitute treason? Sure looks like it. The tipping point? We don't know quite yet, but certainly the Carter Page FISA application in October 2016 springs to mind. It was a direct attack on the Constitution. There may well have been treason beforehand if the elements outlined above can be proved. Another question. What about an organized and deliberate conspiracy hatched in 2016 and executed in 2017 to destroy an elected president of the United States? Mueller's special counsel. We now know that the conspirators knew the underlying premise was false before they started. Or how about the flagrant abuse of Congress and separation of powers to impeach and destroy an American president using manipulated and fake evidence? The Ukraine impeachment hoax. What else can you call these three conspiracies but treason? They fit the definition exactly. Oh, did anyone help the enemy when these attacks on the United States were occurring? Did anyone give aid and comfort to the enemies of the United States? I'm looking at you, fake news. Also at you, leakers. According to the cases, they are all guilty of treason as well. President Trump gets it. He has tweeted the word treason at least 25 times since 2019. Just one example. My campaign for president was conclusively spied on. Nothing like this has ever happened in American politics, a really bad situation. Treason means long jail sentences, and this was treason. If the American Republic isn't protected, it will be destroyed. That is guaranteed. That's because the Republic is an experiment. History proves that it is not normal. Normal is China, dictatorships, evil and benign. The laws protecting the fragile republic must be enforced. If they're not, you get wolves like Obama and Clinton taking power. In 2016, the wolves weren't in the shadows anymore. With each new revelation, we now know they had already almost killed the United States. Obama and his goons did almost all the dirty work. Never have we seen such an assault on the Constitution and people than that delivered by this man and his apparatchiks. A President Hillary Clinton would have been the death blow to the United States of America. When President Trump was elected and inaugurated, the American Republic was in the ICU, and its heart, the Constitution, was barely beating. A key part of President Trump's restoration of the American Republic is a reaffirmation of the central role of the Constitution and an enforcement of the laws that protect it. So, back to my first tweet. I think A.G. Barr intends to bring charges of treason in addition to seditious conspiracy and the other offenses. I also think that he will succeed. The evidence is overwhelming. As President Trump says, this must never happen to a president of the United States again. The President of the Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. The Constitution desperately needs protection and restoration after everything Obama and Clinton have put it through. As do we, the people. MAGA. The end.